Okay guys, so this is 11.3, using statistical measures to compare populations. As your standard objective to be able to use the statistical measures to compare population always within 8% accuracy or higher, given the practice problems. You do have one vocabulary word, so MAD or MAD is basically the mean absolute deviation. And it's basically the overall difference between the mean in each of those points. So let's get to actually how to find the MAD. So first thing you have to do is find the data's mean. Okay, remember the mean is the average. So we're going to add all of them together and divide by how many data points you have. So I'm going to say 30 plus 0 plus 15 plus 20 plus 45. So that's 45 plus 45 more, that's 90 plus 20 more. That's 110, and I divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay, so I found my mean to be 22. And that is why I ask you to bring a calculator, because this is an easy one, but we're going to get actually ones that have a lot of data points. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the absolute value of the difference between the mean and each data point. What on earth do we mean by that? What we mean is that we're going to take the absolute value when I subtract this by that. So I'm going to go 30 minus 22, absolute value of that. Okay. I'm going to go 0 minus 22, absolute value of that. So these are not one, these are actually absolute value as symbols. And then I go 15 minus 22. And I'm going to go 20 minus 22. And then 45 minus 22. So 30 minus 22 is 8. And absolute value of 8 is just 8. This one, 0 minus 22, is actually negative 22. But we're doing absolute value, so you will never get a negative. So that's just 22. 15 minus 22 is negative 7. And absolute value of negative 7 is just 7. 20 minus 22 is negative 2. Absolute value of negative 2 is just 2. And then 45 minus 22, that's 23. Absolute value of 23 is just 23. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all these values. Because I need to find the mean of that. Okay, so I have to add them all up, and then I'm going to divide by the number of data points. So 22 plus 8, that's 30. 37, 37, 38, 37, 38, 39. 39 plus 23. That's 62. So I go 62 divide by 5 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First one in the house. Add decimal, bring it up. Add 0, bring it down. 4. So 12.4. I'm just gonna grab my calculator just to check. Okay, so 12.4 is my MAD for this one. Okay, so let me erase that. Okay, then I am going to do it for this one right here. I don't know if you can hear the rain outside. Okay, so I'm gonna add them together. So 10 plus 60, that's 70, plus 30, that's 100, 100, plus 80, 180, and this two is actually 100 as well. So 60, 70, 100, so that's 200 total. And I divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that 100 divided by 200 divided by 5. And then for the MAD, I'm going to take each one of those numbers and I'm going to do the difference. I'm going to subtract the mean, absolute value of that. So I'm going to go 10 minus 40, absolute value of that. 60 minus 40, absolute value of that. 80 minus 40, absolute value of that. 20 minus 40, absolute value of that. And then 30 minus 40, absolute value of that. So here we go. 10 minus 40 is actually negative 30, but absolute value of negative 30 is just 30. 60 minus 40 is 20, and absolute value of 20 is just 20. 80 minus 40 is 40, and absolute value of 40 is just 40. 20 minus 4 is actually negative 20, but the absolute value of that is 20. 30 minus 4 is negative 10. Absolute value of negative 10 is just 10. Remember, absolute value, the distance from that number to 0 on the number line is never negative because distance is never negative. So if you see a negative, just basically make it a positive. Is a positive, you leave it alone. Now I'm going to add them all together and find the mean of that. Okay, so then I have 30 plus 20, that's 50, plus 40, that's 90. 90 plus 10, that's 100, plus 20, that's 120. So then I do 120 divided by 5. Okay, and so that's how we find the MAD, the mean absolute deviation. Now we need to, how we're going to use this information to get, something out. This one is asking us to compare the difference in centers of how different they are. So the first question is, what is the difference in mean? So basically you take the mean. So what is the difference between 22 and 40? That's 18. Okay, so 40 minus 22 is 18. And then on this one it says, write the difference of means as a multiple of the MAD. Okay, so how do we do that? We take our means, the difference of the means, and then we're gonna take the difference of the mean absolute deviation. So we know that the difference in the means was 18, but we also have to find the difference of this. So then I can say 40 minus 22 over 24 minus 12.4. So we say that's 18, and then 24 minus 12.4, remember we added decimal here and bring it 0. 11.6, and this is when I'm gonna use my calculator. So then I divide those two. So I get 1.55. So it asks me to run to the nearest tenth. I'm gonna stop here, look over here, that's 5 or high, I run up. So then this is gonna be 1.6. Okay. Let me go over this and I'll give you one to do for the math because that's important for you to know how to do that. So this one is just comparing two box plots. And so one thing you have to remember is that the less overlapping that there is in the distribution, the more convincing the evidence is, because otherwise it's basically kind of like just back in the same place and you don't have, a lot of variability. So this case we have two data sets, but you see how the half of the data is just overlapping. That's hard to really distinguish, and see if it's really convincing evidence of the data set. Now right here you have again two data sets, but then your half of the data, this two quartiles, they're not overlapping that much. So in this case it's a little more convincing. So just make sure that you look at that and then figure out from there. So let me give you one to do for the math. So I want you to give me the mean for this data set, and I want you to find the mean absolute deviation. Okay, you're only gonna do that. Remember, add them all together, divide by how many data sets you have to find the mean, and then you're gonna take that and look at the difference between that and this for each one of them, add them all together, all the differences together, and then divide by the number of data points that you have. Okay, I know this is tough, but I know you guys got it. We have a few more modules to go and then we'll be done. Okay, God bless you. Bye.